This is Talk.
Hello, good evening. This is Talk, and it is Petrie here with you. And just a reminder that coming up at the top of the hour, we have John Boothman, who's going to be joining us to go through the newspapers for tomorrow. But first, I'm really excited about this. A pyramid-like structure, first seen on Mars in 2001, has renewed debate on whether human-like creatures inhabited the planet billions of years ago. The image was originally captured by NASA's Mars Global Surveyor and found by a researcher while he was scanning the data, and suggests it may be, an artificial structure. The NASA photo is generating interest on social media 25 years later, after it was unearthed again in the documentary Blue Planet Red by filmmaker Brian Dobbs, who joins us now. This is great. Brian, I'm so thrilled to meet you. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. I mean, the film, I have not seen the film because we came to this story a bit late, but I am going to try and find it. On the history, evidence for life and catastrophes that contributed to the death of Mars. Where do we start? You better lead off. First of all, this pyramid, are you convinced that it is man-made or creature-made? It is not natural.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. This is a wonderful invitation, so thank you. I'd like to parlay this discussion of what went viral this week into the overall, more broader discussion of what I refer to as Mars disclosure. I'm a journalist like yourself, a documentary filmmaker, and after learning what I learned about over these past few years, there seems to have been, in some manner, a suppression of the evidence that NASA has discovered over the past half century, pyramids being one of them. The overall larger story here is there's evidence not just for these structures, but for biology, for fossils, and for artifacts. So when we take a look at a structure that looks, for all intents and purposes, like a pyramid, I am sitting here trying to vet this. Number one, is the image real? Yes, it's real. I've had all these images from NASA. But number two, can I find anything like it in nature that looks anything remotely like it? And that's my challenge to the public. That's my challenge to geologists specifically. And thus far, I'm having a tough time finding anybody who can submit anything that looks like what we are looking at here, which appears to be a three-sided symmetrical pyramid with geometric regularity.
Yeah. I mean, there's no denying it. I mean, it looks exactly like a pyramid. And like you said, can that be formed in nature? Look, strange things are formed, especially in an area such as this has been found, where there's a lot of geological movement, right? But like you said, it looks like it was put together. It doesn't look like nature created it. So who did create it? Yeah,
well, that is a very good question. What I can tell you is that any one piece of evidence or rather in support of this artificiality hypothesis, that there were these structures that were artificially created by a previous ancient civilization on Mars, as crazy as that sounds, any one of them really isn't enough to move the needle. It's only when you look at the totality of evidence where it starts to paint a much different picture of Mars than the one that we've been led to believe. And I really don't want to point the finger too much at NASA. I think NASA's doing a great job at engineering, at furthering our understanding of the universe. But unfortunately, as it relates to their discoveries, they just haven't been doing a great job in the public relations department and transparency with what they've been finding. So I felt compelled enough to put together a documentary which sort of weaves a different story than most people have heard, which does include these. Look, Carl Sagan has this famous quote. He says, "Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence." And then to which I would respond with another quote by Carl Sagan. Intelligent life first reveals itself through the geometric regularity of its constructions. Now, what does he mean? He means if you're in a spaceship looking down on a terrestrial planet, how would you first know there's intelligent life there? You'd first know it by seeing straight lines and geometric patterns, city grids, and even the pyramids themselves. And what we're seeing on Mars does not fit a geological explanation. It doesn't fit what a volcano is supposed to look like. It doesn't fit what a mountain or a hill or a mesa or a butte or whatever NASA wants to call it. It looks like, and you don't need a geology or an engineering degree to see these things. I mean, you saw it yourself. So this three-sided pyramid structure is one of dozens, Petri, dozens, that NASA has photographed over the past 50 years that they just don't want to talk about it. They're not in the disclosure business. So, which is why I am trying to come in here and cover what is a thriving Mars community. And I have a clip here of two of the people who are actually doing the research and things that they've uncovered. We even have a different example of another pyramid that I'd love for you to take a quick look at.
I mean, it is. Do we have the other pyramid for me to have a look at? 'Cause I'd
yeah, we have a 60-second clip that we could play. Oh,
a 60-second clip of it. Yeah, we've got it now. I think they're going to play it now, Brian.
So yeah, I'll compare this to the pyramid in Teotihuacan with that ramp coming off the side. The symmetry and geometry of this pyramid, which incidentally so far, in my opinion, is the best evidence of a pyramid found on Mars.
So I sent Robert an email, and within a day or two he got back to me and said, send me the paper, I'll take a look at it, just like that.
That's
I don't even know the guy.
All right.
So we send him the paper, about a week goes by, he resends the paper with his geological analysis already added to the paper, and he puts his name on the paper, not at the front, but at the end.
Wow.
I'm like, oh my God, we got Robert Schoch co-authoring a paper with us.
So let's take a closer look at this square. There's not just one 90-degree angle, but apparently there are opposing 90-degree angles.
Correct. It's completely square, which is, again, an oddity.
Wow. That's incredible.
So, for those who are unfamiliar, Robert Schoch is a world-renowned professor of geology at Boston University, and what my friend George Haas was saying there was that he actually co-authored a research paper which was published last year demonstrating how this square, what they refer to as the square on Mars, which went viral last year, it's unlikely to be of natural origin. It just simply doesn't fit any natural explanation. So here we have a geology professor putting his name on a research paper saying this giant square is most likely of artificial construction. And when you take a look at that, and I'm not kidding, Petri, we have dozens of other examples of pyramids just as compelling as that one. And if you got to figure, well, maybe the edges aren't quite as pristine, but then again, the surface of Mars is at least millions of years old. So here on Earth, what would an unexcavated pyramid look like? It would really just kind of look like a hill with,
it would be eroded. I mean,
of...
even some of the pyramids that there are eroded, right? They're beginning to look slightly more rounded. So I completely appreciate that.
Right.
Why the nervousness, do you think, to suggest that there were past civilizations? I mean, it's not saying alien, we're just saying a past civilization, and you call it blue planet red because it was a blue planet at one point. And I don't know why you'd be nervous about saying, yeah, it looks like there was another civilization that lived there.
Well, with news like this, Petri, it runs the risk of disrupting certain things about our society, belief systems, our egos, our fragile human ego. We're the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, true.
And once you take a look into the data as collected by NASA relating to the loss of the planet's atmosphere, the story actually takes a terrifying turn. We don't have enough time to get into it, but the data suggests a global cataclysm.
Right.
And it's worth looking into that, especially when you piece together that the fact is the planet did used to be blue. And what do we know of as blue planet? We think life. We think water. Where there's blue, where there's water, there's life. And so when you take a look at the totality of evidence, we have evidence of biology on Mars currently, as well as fossils, photographic evidence. Photographs are evidence. I'm not saying proof. Proof and evidence are not the same word. So, and then we have artifacts that were photographed by rovers. Dozens of these things, Petri. This is why I felt so compelled to put together a documentary piecing all of this together for everyone to enjoy in a much more entertaining fashion.
Oh, I so want to. Where do I see this film? Can I find it somewhere?
Yes, luckily enough, it is on Amazon UK.
Oh. Right, that's what I'm going to be doing. Will you come back and talk to me again on this?
Oh, I would love to. This has been such a pleasure.
Oh, I would love that. Brian, thank you so much. I am absolutely in. I'm in like Flynn on this whole thing. Brian Dobbs there, documentary filmmaker and Mars disclosure journalist, and it's Blue Planet Red on Amazon. Oh, excellent stuff.